Hey, what's up guys? Super pumped to be showing you this fridge. So it's an LG that's not cooling, and this is pretty common if you know anything about LG. So we're gonna go to the back of the fridge and take a look at the discharge line. It doesn't feel too warm, condenser coils are not warm at all, and the return line is not cold. So what we're gonna do is take an amp reading here, and what I'm seeing is 0.8 amps, which is pretty low. So we're gonna tap in and see what's going on, whether we have a leak or if it's a weak compressor. And it looks like in this case, I'm getting 70 PSI, which means we have plenty of refrigerant and it's a bad compressor. So we're going to recover our refrigerant into a recovery bag here. You can hear all that refrigerant going into that bag. The next step is to polish our discharge line like so. Make sure it's nice and clean. Grab our line cutters and start to cut off that discharge line. And then we're gonna do the same exact thing to our return line and pull that compressor out. Once she's out, we're gonna start to open up the new one. And these are straight from LG themselves, straight from the factory. And hopefully this one will last a lot longer than the old one. So we're gonna clean up the access port here and the access valve. And now we're gonna get it ready to be put in. But first we're gonna take out our Schrader valve. Now if we braze with this, it's gonna burn up our Schrader valve, and that valve is really important. It's what keeps the refrigerant from pretty much coming out. So we're gonna get our oxyacetylene tanks ready, make sure our pressures are good. And time for the fun part, we're gonna set up our fire blankets and get to brazing here. So yeah, this is always nerve-wracking in a customer's home, as you can imagine, but it must be done. So we're gonna heat up this line with a nice oxidized flame, get it nice and hot, and introduce our brazing rod. Now, always check our work, make sure it's nice and clean, no gaps, and it was. So we're putting it back in, nice snug fit. And we're gonna start to put on our discharge line. Oh, don't forget our fire stop, always important. As you can imagine, it's a really, really tight space here, and it gets pretty nerve-wracking, but this is what I get paid the big bucks for, so I'm not complaining. So we heat up this line and the other return line and get that all taken care of and pull out our fire blanket. Now we're going to hook up our coil removal tool and hook up our vacuum gauge and hook up our vacuum. So now we're going to pull the machine down into a vacuum. We want to see below 250 microns. And while that's being pulled down into the vacuum, we're going to do our update. So I'm going to update the software in the fridge. Now that we got that done, we check we're at 170 microns, which is great. Now you can see we're actually going to start charging right away. And don't be worried if that gauge is going up. It's going up real slow. That's normal. Now we're going to open up our valve, and as you can see, our refrigerant is being sucked right into there. We charged this one up to 4.9 ounces, and now we're going to put on our Schrader valve. And remember, this is a really, really important piece of the puzzle here. This is what keeps the refrigerant from pretty much blowing out whenever we have that valve cap off. So now we can freely take off our coil removing tool, and we don't have to worry about refrigerant blowing out. And we're going to finish off with some thread sealant, put on our valve cap, and that is it, guys. If you have an appliance that needs fixing, please let me know. I'd love to help.